Hello student, again I Anjum Nirban welcomes you to join the class of English literature. Students, we have already read the chapter which is a poem, lesson number 9, Apostrophe to the Ocean. Today it's time to do question answers along with word meanings. Let's do very first word meaning, which is rapture. The meaning of rapture is extreme happiness and delight in something. Then next is leviathans, which is meaning is very powerful, and leviathan in the poem used for the monster in the ocean. Okay. Third is ravage, which means destroy. Fourth is unnailed, which means unsummoned, means appeared. Uncoffined, which means not buried. While, which means extremely unpleasant or bad. Wills, which means controls. Spurning, which means turning away. Next is happily, which means by any chance. Arbiter, which means person who settles disputes. Arbiter is also used for the leviathans, means monsters. Armada, it's a kind of group of ships or aircraft. Now, armada in our poem is used as an example of as I have told you in your poem that there were 130 ships. This is a kind of history. Okay, so here armada, which means group of ships or aircraft. Conversed, which means shaken up. Climb means weather of a reason. Sublime, which means divine. Faith homeless, which means extending deeply, deep inside. Okay. Went on, which means extravagant. And last is below, which means surging mass. It is used for the waves in the ocean. Okay, everyone. Now let's do question answers. Where does the speaker find pleasure? The speaker finds pleasure amidst nature, yani middle of the nature. He says there lies a society amidst nature where no one intrudes. Now what he says over here, that he says that there is a society, and who is he refers the society, himself and the nature. Okay, he finds pleasure in the pathless wood, means the forestry area. Okay, and joy on the lonely shore. Shore is used for the edge of the ocean or sea, we can say. Okay, by pathless woods, the poet also means that the path that other have not trade, means कोई भी वहां नहीं आता हो, वो सिर्फ अकेला नेचर के साथ रहना चाहता है. Okay, second is name the ways in which man has tried to conquer the ocean. Now here man has tried to control the ocean with ships and armaments. Armaments is kind of weapons. Okay. Now here we have to describe. Here we have to tell the ways in which man has tried to control the ocean. Okay. And the poet has described the two way according to the man. So man has tried to control the ocean with ships and armaments. It's kind of weapons. Man can spoil everything around him but not the ocean. Why is this? कि इंसान अपने आसपास की चीजें तो spoil कर सकता है but not the ocean. Ocean को बिल्कुल भी हाथ नहीं लगा सकता. Why is this? ऐसा क्यों? The poet says that man can spoil everything around him but not the ocean because the ocean overpowers man with its might. Ocean क्या होती है? बहुत ही ज्यादा powerful है. As we have already read in our poem that the poet has described the power of the ocean in that poem. Okay. Question number 4 is what is man's pity hope? What happens to it? Now, man's pity hope is find some near port or bay while being lost in the ocean. Now, whenever the man just being lost in the ocean, what he do? He try to do. He or she try to do find some he or she finds some near port. Okay, and bay is a kind of a coastal area. Okay, place of coastal area. Ultimately he is dashed onto the land left to lie. Next is question number 5 is to what thing does the speaker compare the huge oak tree? The huge oak trees are compared with the leviathans. Now here the poet described the leviathans the more powerful with the huge oak tree, and the leviathans are monster in the poem according to the poet, and these are the powerful creature and it is only imaginary. हम real में नहीं देखते हैं. Question number 6 is what is the comparison between the realm of man and the surface of the sea? Okay, Now the realm of man are perishable with time, the decay and the dry up, whereas the surface of the sea is immortal, यानी हमेशा रहने वाला है. यानी man भी है और भी कोई चीज होगी, they are going to destroy one day, they are going to die one day, but according to that poet, the surface of the sea remain the same, remain the blue, as we have read in our poem. There is not even a wrinkle on its surface, एक wrinkle भी नहीं आता है उनके surface पे with the passage of time. अगर कितना भी time, passage of the time, कितना भी time बीत जाए या कितना भी नया time आ जाए, there is not even a wrinkle on the surface of ocean. Question number 7 is the ocean afraid of being alone? How do we know this? अगर ocean afraid करती है और अगर नहीं करती है तो हमें कैसे पता? The ocean is certainly not afraid of being alone. Ocean को कभी डर नहीं अकेले रहने का, because it is eternal, यानी endless है, bottomless and powerful. Bottomless यानी बहुत deep inside है and powerful as well. Okay. Now let's do reference to the context. Very first question of reference to the context is the wrecks are all thy deed. Wrecks, the ship that has already sunk. Okay. Not doth remain. Doth is used for do, as a do. Okay. A shadow of man's ravage save his own. Now here the question related to these lines. What wreck is the speaker speaking of? The poet is talking about shipwrecks. Okay, the poet is talking about on that those ships who has already sunk, who have already sunk. Okay, whose deeds are the wrecks? The wrecks are the ocean's deed. Okay, what are man's ravages? Man's sins, यानी man's की जो बुराइयां हैं. Okay, immorality है, वो क्या है? Man's की ravages है. Okay. Question number 2 is he sinks into thy depths with bubbling groan, without a grave, unnailed, uncoffined, and unknown. Who is he here? He refers to the man over here, the man who come to the ocean to destroy, to want to destroy. तो यहाँ पर उसने पोएट ने जो डिस्ट्रॉय करने के लिए जाएगा उसके लिए, उस मैन के लिए यहाँ पर पोएट ने ही का यूज किया है. Where does he sink? Oh yes, obvious, the answer will be same. He sinks into the depth of the ocean. What is the result of his sinking, and what will be the result of his sinking? So he gets lost in, as unknown world is an unknown grave. Grave, it's a kind of a place where we where we buried someone. Okay, किसी को दफनाया जाता है, उसके लिए grave कहा जाता है. And uncoffin, बिल्कुल गायब सा ही हो जाएगा. Question number 3 is his steps are not upon thy path, thy used for you. Okay, your paths, thy fields are not a spoil for him. Thou dost arise and shake him from thee, the vile strength he wills. Now, according to these lines, whose steps does the speaker refer to? Man's steps are being referred to here. ओके, लोगों की जो मैन या फिर जो व्यक्ति वहां पर आता है उसके स्टेप्स के बारे में यहाँ पर बात हुई है. व्हाई आर द फील्ड्स नॉट ए स्पॉइल फॉर हिम? द ओशियंस फील्ड्स आर नॉट स्पॉइल फॉर मैन बिकॉज हिज अथॉरिटी इज लिमिटेड टू द shores. Now last question related to this exercise, this question, whose strength is superior? Now किसकी strength के बारे में बात की है यहाँ पर? Yes, obvious, ocean and nature. Strength is far superior to men's. हम लोगों में इतनी स्ट्रेंथ नहीं है जितनी ओशियन, और वी कैन से अकॉर्डिंग टू द नेचर, द पावर ऑफ नेचर इज इनसरमाउंटेबल, यानी बहुत ही अच्छी है, आगे तक जाने वाली है. ओके, सो ये बहुत पावरफुल है. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस चैप्टर, अकॉर्डिंग टू द क्वेश्चन आंसर्स, यू हैव गॉट, आई थिंक कि हमने किसके बारे में पढ़ा है. बेसिकली वी रेड पावर ऑफ द ओशियन. ओके, हमने किसके बारे में पढ़ा है यहाँ पर? द ओशियन की कितनी पावर है, ओशियन कितनी पावरफुल है. ओके, एंड आई होप यू ऑल have understood this chapter, the question answers as well word meanings. So please learn them, and in our next video we'll be continue with the book exercise of the lesson number 7. Okay everyone, till then, bye bye, take care of yourself.